Ladies and gentlemen, it is update day, and if you don't know what that means, basically a big update has come out for Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, and of course, this is the Season 1 Reloaded update. And as far as this update goes, a bunch of new things have been added, like, for example, ranked play, new maps, new weapons, but also, because it's an update, a lot of things have changed. And in this video, we're going to go over everything new and everything that has changed within the Season 1 Reloaded update. There's a lot here, spanning from zombies to Warzone to multiplayer, and you guys probably want to be kept informed as to what is going on with this. That is what this video is all about, and assumably you guys are going to be playing a lot when it comes to Season 1 Reloaded and maybe want to record some of that gameplay. Well, that's where today's video sponsor comes in. Today's video is sponsored by Outplayed, and this one is specifically for content creators or just some people who want the clips of their favorite games that they play. Now, Outplayed, you can check it out, first link down below. It is an absolutely free app, and what it does is immediately clip your best moments from in-game, whether you're playing Apex Legends or Call of Duty. If you get a bunch of headshots, a bunch of kills, or something really cool happens in-game, it's going to automatically take your favorite clips. You can go inside the app, edit it, and immediately upload it to whatever apps you want, whether that be YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, or anything in between. So if you want some awesome clips of the games that you're playing, click the first link down below, and thank you Outplayed for sponsoring the video. So here we are at the patch notes, and as far as they go, I've kind of skimmed through them. There is a lot of weapon balancing for multiplayer, which I'm going to go through very quickly once we get to that. But starting out with some new features, first of all, multiplayer, we got the new map, the new 6v6 map, which is called Rio. We have new operators, which are A-Train and Firecracker. These are both a part of the Boys event, as you guys could probably tell already. As far as new modes go, we have Headquarters, which is kind of like Hardpoint, but when you capture the headquarters, your team doesn't respawn. That's when you get points. We have Team Gunfight. That's like Gunfight, however, with teams. And of course, we have Infected, which we've kind of already seen in the game during the Christmas event. And then we have Ranked Play, which we're going to dive into a little bit further. It's coming up soon. We have two new weapons, the TAC Evolver E, and then the HRM9, one LMG, one SMG. The HRM9 is the one that you are seeing here. We also have the Boys event. So what this event is actually going to entail is some challenges, and on top of that, a new game mode. It's called the souped up version of Kill Confirm. So it works like Kill Confirm, but also when you down someone or kill someone, they're going to drop some Temp V. When they do, this is going to give you some superpowers. So some of the challenges are to unlock things. For example, the calling card is get one operator kill with heat vision. That's one of the examples of the powers you can get with Temp V. They also have deactivate 20 pieces of equipment with the DDoS for an emblem. Get 4 operator eliminations using the MTZ762. This is for a battle pass tier skip. Get 2 operator eliminations in a single life with the overkill vest equipped. Get 15 operator akimbo eliminations, and get 7 operator eliminations with lethal equipment. So all in all of those are very, very easy. Also, there's a mystery reward, which I don't know why it's called a mystery reward when they tell us exactly what it is, because it's an LMG blueprint. There's some changes to customization UI, nothing too important there whatsoever. Same goes with the multiplayer UI as well. Now, as far as gameplay goes, spectating in third-person perspective is no longer allowed in the following modes: Control, Cutthroat, Search and Destroy, and War. One problem that they had before is remote turrets, wheelsins, chopper gunners didn't stop you from spawning right in front of them. Now they do. This is going to allow people to control spawns a little bit better, especially on maps called Shipment, which could be a good or bad thing depending on how it works. They fixed some challenge progression problems. They've also made several changes on certain maps. I'm not going to go through all of these, but one of the main things that they did is the hardpoint locations on several of the maps. So as you can see, High Rise, Invasion, Karachi, Scrapyard, these have changed now, and the order of them as well. So if you're playing competitive, this is probably something you want to know a little bit more about, but I'm not going to go too far into it. Also, some fixes for Infected and Search and Destroy. Now, moving into weapons and attachments, I believe everything that we are looking at here is just for Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer. If we go to the Warzone patch notes, which we'll be doing later on, you're going to see that there are some other changes that are just in Warzone. So starting out with the SVA 545, increased maximum damage, so small buff there. Holger 556, increased sprint to fire time, which is a nerf. The DG56 got a nerf to its damage ranges. FR556 got an increase to medium damage from 36 to 40, so a buff there. A nerf to the MCW's sprint to fire time, as well as some changes to specific attachments. If you want to check those out, you can pause it here, but I'm not going to go too far in depth because, as I said, there's a lot of these. A buff to the STB556, a buff to the Kastov 762 from Modern Warfare 2, a buff to the Chimera from Modern Warfare 2, another buff to the Tempest Razorback, a buff and a nerf. So a nerf to the damage range, but a buff to the damage for the FR Advancer. Big overall nerf to the M16 from Modern Warfare 2. The Kastov 74U got a buff. The Kastov 545 got a buff to the damage, but a nerf to the damage range and aim down sights time. So as you can see, big changes specifically to the Modern Warfare 2 weapons. For battle rifles, the decreased recoil gun kick when firing, so a buff there. I still don't think that weapon will be any good. Maximum damage for the Lockman 762 for Modern Warfare 2 went up, so that's a buff. The Cronin Squall got a buff. The FTAC Recon overall got a pretty big buff. SO14 got a buff. And moving on to SMGs, the WSP Swarm increased maximum damage range by 2 meters essentially, and increased the near range. So buff overall to that weapon. The Rival 9, less recoil on this one now. The Striker 9 increased maximum damage to 29, so there's another buff. The Lockman Shroud got a buff to damage, but a decrease to multipliers, so overall I'm not quite sure at this point. The Fennec 45 got quite a large buff all around, the ADS and Sprintifire and damage, so that's a good one. The Bass P got nerfed range, however the multipliers went up a little bit. The Lockman Sub got a buff, and the MX9 got a big buff as well. Shotguns. So the Lockwood 680, of course, the Modern Warfare 3 weapon, got a nerf to the Sprintifire speed. The Lockwood 300 specifically changes to the slugs and the dual trigger. The Expedite 12 got a buff, the Bryson 800 got a buff, and the Bryson 890 also got a buff to the fire rate. Light machine guns, the Holger 26 got a damage buff, the DG 58 got a decreased sprint to fire speed and decreased aim down sight, so a buff to that one, and the Sakin and the HCR got buffs as well from Modern Warfare 2. Marksman rifles, the DM56 and the MTZ Interceptor both got nerfed. However, basically every marksman rifle from Modern Warfare 2 got a buff. Then we have sniper rifles. For the Cat, it's just the Zang 34 barrel got a nerf. However, the KV inhibitor got quite a big nerf all around, and I'm not sure how this one's going to play out. The Victus XMR lower torso damage multiplier went way up, and the Carrack increased recoil center speed by 100%, so it'll be easier to hit second shots. The Renetti, specifically the Jack Ferocity carbine, got a bug fix, and then the TYR had a bunch of changes, I think specifically to make it when you're not using Snake Shot better. However, a lot of the multipliers changed in different locations. The upper torso is actually higher now. However, they decreased the minimum damage range. So this is just kind of a different weapon all around. The Stormender launcher just now works against drill charges, smoke airdrop, inflatable decoy, and swarm. And then, of course, there are several changes to attachments here. I'm not going to go too in-depth with those. However, perks. The TAC Mask added immunity to EMP effects from the Stormender, so that works now against the Stormender. The Bone Conductor headset revised the description to better reflect the existing effects. As you can see there, reduce player combat and environmental sounds to improve focus and hearing other footsteps. The Signal Jammer addressed an issue that prevented proper functionality while equipped with the Engineer Vest, so that should work properly now. Equipment, the Thermal Bear Grenade increased minimum explosive damage to 75. That is a very, very big buff there. That's 200% up. Field upgrades, trophy system, enemy cruise missiles will no longer be targeted and destroyed. So kind of a nerf to the trophy system there. The ACS addressed an issue that prevented objectives from being captured in hardcore game modes. So it now works in hardcore. Suppression mines, a visual effect for people using them, is now fixed. The SAM turret essentially got a nerfed. In other words, it takes longer to take the bigger score streaks out. In fact, it doesn't target the advanced UAV whatsoever. You get more XP on killing an Overwatch helo. Before, the EMP actually progressed your kill streak when you destroyed equipment and stuff. It doesn't do that anymore. And the Swarm Announcer got updated as well. Now, as far as ranked play goes, I am not going to go through all of this, but it lists out all of the maps that you can play here. It also, if we go down further, describes how all of the SR ratings work here and how much SR is required. For the top 250, it's currently set at 10,000, but of course that will go up as more people make the top 250 and that score goes up for what they have. And it also goes over the various different rewards that you can get upon getting different ranks within the season 1 progression of ranked play as well. I'm not going to go through all of this. It'll go through all of it when you get into game. Now, as far as zombies goes, there's actually not too much here. They've added in the new warlord, which you are seeing here is Dokkaebi. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but she is going to be at the top of the fortress on the skyscraper in Zaravan City, which is a pretty interesting location for this. They are going to have access to drones, turrets, and wheelsons that are going to attack you. So just based off of that, the thermites are going to be pretty good because those worked against wheelsons and DMZ. So expect to see people using those, but we'll have a more in-depth video probably tomorrow going over a solo guide on that one. Ether extractions and bounty targets, they just addressed issues with those. Field upgrades, they addressed issues with those. General changes, same thing. Sentry turrets are now EMP'd when they're shot with the Storm Ender. So again, the Storm Ender might be a very viable option when storming Dokkaebi, because again, drones, turrets, and wheelsons are going to be in play. So that's going to have to be something that we try out. Also, Hellhounds, friendly pet Hellhounds will now heal newly added squad members, and Hellhounds will now retain their name and level when traveling into the Dark Ether. That wasn't working properly before. Ram 7 addressed an issue with that one. Decoy grenades, this is good. Increased decoy grenades duration from 6 to 8 seconds. Unfortunately, they didn't revert the change where we couldn't carry as many as we used to. Symbol monkeys increase a symbol monkey duration to 10.5 seconds. They will also attract hellhounds now. So those are great for solo players. And they've also fixed various crashes as well. So that's it for Modern Warfare 3, but we are not done because we still have Warzone. So the patch notes are not nearly as long for Warzone. However, again, customization and same sort of things that they have changed. They've added a new version of the Gulag, which is a night vision version, which of course you're going to have the goggles on for. It's going to take place at night. They have overall map polishes, so just different spots and stuff around the map that they fixed. As far as playlists go, this week we are looking at solos, duos, trios, and quads for Urzikstan for Resurgence, Urzikstan POI rotation. We have quads, Vondel and Ashika, solo and duos, Vondel, quads, Ashika, quads, no idea why there's no trios. And then Plunder, we have Urzikstan quads, and then Lockdown, quads once again. No idea why trios is getting so much hate, but hey, it is what it is. So again, I'm going to go through these very quickly, but the weapon changes, these are specifically for Warzone now. So the Holger 556 increased damage, so that is a buff. The M13B from Modern Warfare 2 actually got a nerf. One that I am very interested in is the MCW. This one got a buff. This thing has no recoil, so I'm very, very curious to see how this thing is used at mid and long range now. The MTZ-762 got a nerf. As far as light machine guns, the Bruin MK9 got a nerf to the damage. The DG-LSW got a nerf to the damage. The Pelumont got a nerf to the damage. And the TAC Eradicator got a nerf to the damage. So in other words, all of the LMGs got nerfed. Now, the one thing you're going to want to pay attention to is there's a new LMG being added. It may be one of the best weapons being added because LMGs are very, very good, and it has yet to be nerfed, so pay attention to that one. Big buff to the AMR9 to all of its damage. The ISO 9mm from Modern Warfare 2, this one actually got a nerf to the damage. The Rival 9 got a recoil reduction, so should be a little bit better. The Striker 9 had a buff to the damage, so it should be a little bit better. As far as sniper rifles, the Cat AMR, this Zang 34 barrel just got a little bit nerfed, so it's not as good as it was before. As far as ammunition goes, the 50 cal Spire point rounds actually got a buff. The 410 gauge Dragon's Breath got a nerf. And same with the 12 gauge dragons as well. As far as the laser sights, basically all of these ones got a buff, and the muzzle, the XR Nightfall Suppressor got a nerf. So as far as the Champions Quest, you have to win 30 games total within a season or 5 consecutive matches, whichever comes first. Then you will be given a token to start completing this, which you can steal from other teams once per game to get it for yourself. Deployable buy stations, the loot underneath them has been fixed. Black sites, they've made it so that they spawn closer towards the center of the map. Zip lines, you can now interact with them easier, which thank God, I always had problems with that. Tracker grenade, they fixed an issue where it incorrectly showed up as a snapshot grenade on the loot card. Underwater rebreather fixed an issue where the rebreather would make using it more difficult. Vehicle respawn, vehicles will now respawn after being destroyed. That's interesting, we'll see more vehicles on the map. Covert exfil and weapon case updated. Stay tuned for further details on the previously announced covert exfil and weapon case features set for release in the future. Apparently there was some complaints about this being added into Battle Royale, so they've announced that they're going to be releasing a different mode with this, which to me sounds like DMZ, but in Warzone and not DMZ. So a little bit confused there. Perks EOD will now clamp damage to 120 down from 150, so that's a buff to EOD. Quick Fix fixed an issue preventing health regeneration to occur after inserting an armor plate, so just a bug fix there. Bomb Drone increased the warning range to 14 meters up from 6. That's a good one. Bomb drones are annoying. Audio has been fixed a little bit, as well as a bunch of bug fixes. In fact, like we're still scrolling. Like those are all bug fixes. I'm not going to go through all of them. If you want to check it out, I will link the patch notes down in the description. But that's it. Those are all the patch notes. Multiplayer, zombies, Warzone. I tried to get through them as quickly as possible. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on, all of that kind of jazz. We're going to have some zombies going up probably within the next day, doing Dokkaebi solo, also some gameplay going up on my second channel, all of which will be linked down in the description. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace. We are